Okay, you already know that it's out, so fuck explaining all the nonsense and being one of those videos that are like, okay guys, today we're going to take a look at Project A, or better yet known as Valorant, as Riot has released official gameplay. No, let's get right into the important things. I'm starting off by making a video on the crosshairs because you are able to customize them. You can see the different crosshair styles when it switches from player to player, but I think a lot of people are going to look this over and not see how important this is. One thing that I liked about Counter-Strike is that you were able to do that. You were able to choose a crosshair that you felt comfortable with, and this is very important, especially for a game when you're shooting from the hip for 90% of the time. Well, in Valorant, I can tell you right now, just by looking at the trailer Riot released back in October, that this game was going to be mostly shooting from the hip. So if they had an ugly crosshair system, the game would feel like shit. Imagine some big ass crosshair on your screen that just pisses you off because it's in your way. Nope. Boom. Small crosshair. Oh, what's that? You don't like green? White. You like your girl small and petite, you lolicon? Boom. Small and petite. You want that thick BBW? We got you. Riot is looking out for our fetishes. So let's take a look at what fetishes these Riot employees have. The first guy likes them chunky. He has a bigger style green crosshair with a wide center. If you look at it while he's moving, there is no movement in the crosshair until he shoots. When he shoots, the crosshair will get wider and wider the longer he holds the spray, and this is to give him a rough idea of how inaccurate his shots will become. It's not really the inaccuracy of the shots, because the guns do have a recoil pattern which you can control, but this style of crosshair is to help you visually see how long it would take for your next shot after your spray to be accurate. So as he shoots, it gets bigger, kind of showing the time it will take to recover his recoil. Then after he stops shooting, the crosshair gets smaller and smaller, and once it reaches its initial position, it means that the gun recoil has fully recovered and the next shot will be accurate as long as you aren't moving. Now the opposite to that, we also see a crosshair that will show you roughly how inaccurate you will be when you're moving. So this one, I have to freeze frame this so you can see this, but you see those little dots around the crosshair? Those are only there while moving. The more you move, the further the dots go out. The less you move, the closer the dots come back to the crosshair. Now unlike the first guy, this Riot employee chose a crosshair that is dynamic when you're moving, but static when you're shooting. And the first guy chose one that is static when you're moving, but dynamic when you're shooting. And then of course you have differences like the size and the shape and the color and whatever. And then we see another style of crosshair where it's static all the time. When moving and shooting, it doesn't change. And then it's fair to assume that you can choose one that is dynamic when both shooting and moving. We just haven't seen it in here. So lastly, here are some quick points to sum up this crosshair video. The crosshair gets slightly smaller when pulling out a knife or using an ability. The crosshair stays out when having a sniper unless scoped in. The crosshair stays out when scoped in on rifles. The crosshair appears to be able to have its color changed. The crosshair can be set to be dynamic or static in both the movement of the player and the shooting of the weapon. The crosshair size, length, and center gap can be changed. The crosshair also stays out when diffusing. I'm liking the system a lot. Riot made it so that you have something in the center of your screen all the time. So now you're able to have accurate crosshair placement without having to guess where the center of your screen is if you have something like a knife or a sniper rifle. Being a tactical shooter that this game is, you want to have every little bit of accuracy that you can. All I know is that I have to wait for the summer to be able to do any crosshair customization in this game. Fucking Riot. So now with that said, what is the crosshair style you'll be taking into the game? I like it fatter, so I can put my bullets where it matters, if you know what I mean. Okay, fuck you guys and fuck the bad jokes. Just press the button down there and maybe press the same button on my Twitch. I don't care. I just need this game released.